Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be talking about cracking the code and why Bitcoin is soaring so high in 2024. So if a lot of you have not been keeping up with Bitcoin prices, recently it has reached over 40,000. And the hype doesn't seem to slow down there. So if you're looking at Bitcoin as a potential investment, you should watch this video. So the first question we should ask ourselves when investing in anything is why? So why is Bitcoin skyrocketing? Well, it's actually not just Bitcoin. The stocks are doing the same thing. But why? The reason is because of the Fed. The Fed, they are the one who controls interest rates, and interest rates are the reason. So the investors of Bitcoin and stocks, they always like to be fortune tellers. They like to look into the future and predict how the economy is going to look like, and then the stock market and the Bitcoin will react because they're buying or selling. So during the December meeting, which they know is going to happen on December 13th, there's a prediction of a 97% chance that the Fed will make the rates remain the same. And they also know that by next year, March, the Fed is going to have a 50% chance of pivoting the interest rates, meaning they'll lower it. So with that said, they're going to think, oh, then by then in March, with that logic, interest rates going to go down. Investing in, for example, fixed deposit or anything related to a bank investment will have less interest. And that'll be bad for us as investors. So I'm going to pivot and diversify my investments. And with that, a lot of people that does not invest in bank stuff is going to be like, this is a great opportunity. Everybody that is going from the bank, they're going back to the stocks and the Bitcoin. And with that, they will start investing as well. And that's how everything goes off. And at the same time, there is a prediction from the bank that the economy will slow down in the near future. Meaning there's a potential recession because when you put money in a lot of savings account, potentially, you're going to slow down the economy because there's less money flow. And now to my second point, which is Bitcoin Rarity Unleashed. So in 2024, there's a chance where Bitcoin will become more rare than gold. But how does that happen? Well, it's all because of this stock to flow model. So there's a formula to actually calculate how rare an investment could be, even if it's Bitcoin or gold. But how do you compare the two? Well, I'm about to show you the formula. So there is about 19.5 million Bitcoin right now in existence. And the amount they can replicate, meaning add every year, is around 328,000. So how many times do they have to do 328,000 to reach 19.5 million? Well, the answer to that is 59.4 years, meaning they need 59.4 years to replicate the entire Bitcoin right now, meaning kind of double it. Yes. But as for gold, the amount they have right now is about 244,000 of gold. Well, I don't really know how they measure like gold bars, but 244,000 is the number. And the stock to flow average is 2,750. So if you take that number and you divide it to get the ratio of it, is 88.7. So you need 88.7 years to replicate the gold and double it. Meaning it's rarer. because you need more time to replicate the entire thing for gold. As for Bitcoin, you just need 59.4 years. But the data is about to change. That number is about to change. In 2024, the stock to flow number for Bitcoin is about to be 640,000, which is almost cut by half. And because of that, there's the ratio, meaning the amount of years they have to replicate the entire thing, will become 118.7 years, which is drastically increased, meaning it's also now drastically more rare than gold. And this actually will lead to having Bitcoin, making Bitcoin potentially much more valuable, also meaning that Bitcoin will become more expensive. And now to my third point, which is Bitcoin ETF, a potential game changer. So yes, they're going to create a Bitcoin ETF, not putting Bitcoin in an ETF, but an ETF of Bitcoins. Yes. So I personally think that this is a very interesting idea because the ETF is built off the most stable stocks, right? They're supposed to be the most stable things put together and have the most stable positive growth. And so creating a Bitcoin which fluctuates a lot, which doesn't really have any base on for ETF, I'm interested to see what kind of Bitcoin they're going to put into this ETF. So this has already been approved and it's going to come out around January 5th to January 10th, which is going to be very interesting and probably a really great chance for a lot of people to earn a lot of money. And now to my fourth point. Let's talk about the critics of Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin has received a lot of critics throughout these 15 years. People have said that, wow, this is a fraud. It's a Ponzi scheme. But after 15 years, Bitcoin has reached tens of thousands of dollars. Is that really still a fraud? I mean, the people has been through the same debates over and over again. But the fact is, people are still earning money out of these. And the fact is, Bitcoin is still standing. So why are you still trying to debate that this is a fraud or a scheme when it has been working for 15 years? A lot of you could say, well, Bitcoin is not really an existent value, how do I know it even exists? This value doesn't exist. Well, you can say the same thing to even just dollars or any currency in the world. Well, this is a made up value, it's just, Bitcoin is just another currency that doesn't really have a country to base on. Anyways, besides that, Bitcoin has been doing great. As long as you dollar cost average into Bitcoin, from the start of this year, if you put $10 and dollar cost average until now, your returns are 100%, and it's as easy as that. $10 dollar cost average, 100% return. Of course, $10 is not a lot. I'm talking about a bigger number. But as you dollar cost average into it, from the start of this year until now, your returns will have been 100%. And that is, I don't know about you, but that sounds ridiculously good of a deal. And now to my fifth point, which is, how high can Bitcoin go? So this is a question that I do not have an answer to. But if you ask anybody else in this world, they would say the same thing. People could have guesses, but it's most likely wrong. Because there's a lot of people that went from skepticism to acceptance. People had a lot of debates, but they've all admitted that they cannot really predict how high or what's the limit to Bitcoin's skyrocket. I mean, I'm not saying that it will go there with one go, but I'm saying they do not really know what's the roof of Bitcoin. Well, a lot of us has tried to invest in very complicated ways, stay up all night trying to figure out the fluctuation and stuff like that. But actually, dollar cost average, such a simple strategy, has proven to be very effective even in Bitcoin. I mean, if you just take a part of your portfolio, diversify into Bitcoin, it will work out just fine and great. It's proven itself this year. You will have a 100% return. That's of course if you start this January. Of course, there's risk, but it's a calculated risk. Calculated risk with potential high returns. And that's what investment's about. So, I don't know, take a chance, you know? In my opinion, Bitcoin has high potential. So, what's the worst you could lose if you're already taking a portion amount of money to invest in other things? Why not try out, you know, with a small portion of your portfolio into Bitcoin? And now, wrapping up. So, what I've said today about Bitcoin is that in the near future, it seems like Bitcoin could increase in price. And Bitcoin is going to increase its rarity. It's going to be more rare than even gold, which is something a lot of us do not see coming when Bitcoin was first created. And also, there's going to be an ETF for Bitcoin, which is potentially a game changer to a lot of us because maybe, okay, it's a Bitcoin, you know, who knows, if you put a lot of them together, it could earn even more money than a normal ETF. And also, this Bitcoin is a very complicated, seems like a very complicated thing. But if you just use a simple strategy like dollar cost averaging, it could do very well. And therefore, this ends my video today about Bitcoin. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like and subscribe because this is all new with me and I want to share with you guys. We're gonna grow and learn together and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.